and cost of everything. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Board Game Smorgasbord. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Mike Delisio.
I'm Z Garcia.
And we're going to just start right out here with a contest.
Let's go.
Do you want to win a copy of Silver? Also, Silver is made by Bezier Games. Bezier Games behind us. You can see a copy of Sink or Swim, a co-op party game where you and your teammates are diving in to race the clock to sync up as fast as possible. Someday we'll do a synchronized swimming short video. I shouldn't even lie like that.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen.
You're going to get called to task on that.
But Silver's a copy you can win. All you have to do is email us at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put the word Bezier, which is the name of the company. Hopefully you're not just listening to this on... You can listen to stuff on dicetoweraudio.com. You can listen to a podcast version of many of our shows. Yeah, Bezier is
How would you spell it if you... Well, we'll give the correct spelling first for people listening.
Yeah, B-E-Z-I-E-R, Bezier. If I heard Bezier, I would do B-E-Z, Bezier. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess I'm familiar enough with French that I probably would go to IER, but I can see a lot of people, or even me, maybe going with something different.
I would be close, I think. I might throw an H in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It might be, I might go with B-E-H to get that be instead of B.
That's not all you have to do to enter the contest, though, folks. In the body of the email, first of all, you need to give us your address, but also answer the question, how many cards does a face-up rascal let you view from the draw deck? And you can find that, if you go look up online, Silver from Bezier Games on either their website, or I'm sure Board Game Geek and stuff has information about that.
Rascals.
What a day, folks. What a day. Later on today at 2 o'clock, we want you to join us because we are doing the best board games of all time.
No, wait, covers.
Best board game covers of all time.
It's the same thing, really. That's really probably the only thing I enjoy about board games is the cover.
That's like your be-all, end-all?
Pretty much.
That's all I need.
Yeah, when I bring a game out, all I am trying to do is impress people with a gorgeous cover. I don't care if they like the game. I don't care about the game.
We're also a week and a half away from Dice Tower West. Woo! I'm excited about this.
What's happening now?
Dice Tower West.
Vegas!
We had our meeting about it, like, okay, today we'll do this. Vegas? Not yet. Dice Tower West.
There'll be a Vegas day in there. Yeah.
All right, and in other news, we got some news here of changes and things going on at the Dice Tower. So, Mike is... Well, I'll let you go.
Okay, yes. Well, so I have some family... What would you call them? Concerns? Matters? Family Matters, like the old, was it like a 90s sitcom show?
Growing Pains and Family Matters.
Family Matters.
You take the good, you take the bad. No, it's facts of life.
That's facts of life, although this is also a fact of life. Sometimes you have things in your family that compel you to make a change. And so my wife and I are going to be moving back to the Midwest, to Indiana. And this is going to be at the end of March. But it's very important that I... reinforce that I'm not leaving the Dice Tower. Thankfully, Tom has worked things out so that I can stay a part of the Dice Tower. Look, you have no idea the levers that I pull and the buttons that I press behind the scenes. I'll still be actively involved, as actively as I can. I'll still be doing live streaming of solo games on a semi-regular basis. I'll still be coming to spectaculars, and so we're working out all of the kind of the logistics of it. But yes, I am going to miss all of my friends here, not just coworkers, but friends. That's going to be the biggest element, in the weather, of course, also. But family has compelled my wife and I to go back to Indiana. So
you're still going to see Mike on the channel. He's still going to be running his solo show. He's going to be, like we said, he's coming back in for the spectaculars. And we're pre-recording top 10s with Mike. You'll see those go up over the course of the year. He'll be at our conventions. The only difference is that he is now in charge of all our Gen Con stuff. So you have to deal with that.
I am definitely the Gen Con liaison.
So
yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be, it's a change. And then also, on top of that, since we do need more bodies here in the thing, because we cannot have this place being empty and rattling around like bees. Joey Evans, who you've seen on several of our videos and stuff, will be coming in part-time. So you'll see him occasionally. In fact, he'll be with us later today when we talk about the board game covers.
Yep.
And you'll see him in reviews and things like that. You've already seen him doing reviews with his wife, and now you'll see him doing some reviews with us. So he's not taking Mike's place. He's helping us out while Mike is in Indiana. So, but you're still going to see lots of cool stuff, and we're definitely bringing Mike in for the top 100 next year. So don't. I know people are going to ask that question already. We're sticking with that top 100, or we're going to Indiana to do it.
Let's go.
Hey, let's make it happen. I mean,
I don't want to go to Indiana in January. Sorry, Mike.
You're right. It's kind of snowy.
Nice and chilly.
Not always snowy, just cold. Yeah.
I don't care about snowy. I don't even know that I necessarily care about cold. I care about ice.
Yeah, ice isn't too bad up there. It happens every so
We have ice here.
In the freezer.
Yeah, where is it? Where is it in Indiana?
It's on your car.
It's black and it's on the ground.
Black ice.
It's a murderer.
The devil's frozen Slurpee.
All right. So anyway, now let's go to industry news. Here we go. All right. We're going to start. I love companies who give numbers, although I completely understand why companies don't.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Most companies don't. But the ones who do, hooray. So Stonemeyer's game releases their tabletop games in print versus digital game numbers.
Okay,
Which is interesting, because not a lot of publishers have enough of a catalog in both print and digital.
Sure,
right?
sure.
So it's really interesting, the numbers here, and there's not the fractions are very different. So for example, Viticulture, he sold 234,000. That's a lot.
Is this digital or physical?
That's physical. 234,000, and digital 23,000. Now, I think part of that reason is it's a terrible implementation, in my opinion. DigiDice is this company that did it. Yeah. I don't like it.
Oh, this is the Viticulture one?
Yes.
That's too bad. I was getting confused because they just announced that Tuscany, they added Tuscany as an IAP too.
I shouldn't say terrible, but it's not nearly as good. He actually worked with 4 different companies here.
Yeah.
And the second one, the Charterstone, Acram Digital, is really good.
That's a great one.
Yes.
That one. So Charterstone's only sold 97,000, and Digital's 37,000. So that's close to half.
Wow. Yeah.
That is interesting, though. That you always have that concern of, once they come out with the digital implementation, aren't you shooting your own foot?
Right.
Because you're going to stop selling physical ones. Clearly not.
No.
Well, here is the matching almost perfectly.
Okay.
Scythe has sold 544,000 copies. Again, half a million copies of a huge game.
Okay.
And Digital, 535,000.
Wow. You know what it is? That's much more prevalent on Steam and other platforms.
Right, exactly right.
That's from the company, the Knights of Unity. I don't know them, but you're right, it's on Steam.
Yeah, that one, I bet a big part of that comes from Steam.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then Wingspan has sold 1.68 million copies.
That's okay.
That's all right.
And Digital, 674,000.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So what you're saying is Stonemaier Games is doing okay.
Especially since he has a staff of like 3.
Yeah, it's pretty
He's
amazing.
doing okay.
Mike is moving to Stonemaier Games.
I'm
That's
moving closer.
what
He's
it
in St. Louis, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Now send me some codes.
All right, we're about to take a hard left here, okay? We're going into Munchkin territory.
Oh, yeah.
Munchkin, South Park.
All right.
I hate you guys.
Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Is it they all are, wait, no, he's wearing the superhero outfit.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got a little, like, 007 thing going on. And then Kenny.
I don't know. I can.
I want to get a promo card for this game with our Kenny.
Oh,
Says you
and
killed
a grill.
Kenny and a grill.
I can definitely see crossover humor between these IPs, right?
Sure,
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
I'm surprised this hadn't happened already,
I know,
actually.
me too.
Or like Flux, South Park Flux. Is that not a thing? That's coming.
Maybe.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I think this is a better fit, though, especially since they did the video games, which were RPGs.
Right, the Stick of Truth.
You know, and it was kind of already poking fun at RPGs
Sure,
like Munchkin does.
That's a good point.
Or dungeon crawling or whatever. So, yeah, I'm surprised this hadn't happened, actually.
Loopy brought up my favorite Cartman. No kidding, that's
All right. There's a game called Plock coming. I just Googled Plock, which I thought was dangerous.
Yeah.
But Plock actually stands for personal line of credit.
Not in this game, I don't think.
No, but I
No,
thought
that's what it is. That guy is, at the end of that rope is his money, and he wants it now.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not thrilled with the positioning of the eye.
Yeah, it's not a good
Iron
one.
game?
It's called Plock.
But anyhow, okay. So the game is a free print and play.
Yeah.
Oh.
The etymology is, or where this kind of came from is cool.
Well,
Okay.
so the designer of this, Bernd Eisenstein of Iron Games, some of they had stuff stolen at Essen. If you ever display at Essen, hide your money.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, right. So lots of people donated, so he released a print and play as a thank you for this. So it's a 2-player tug of war game. Whoever still has athletes on the field at the end of 2 matches wins. So it must be pretty brutal.
I think you use dice, maybe? Is that what it says?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so. It's a fast-paced dice game.
Yeah.
I'll probably check this out. I really do like Iron Games. I think they have an interesting design philosophy. You know what I mean?
The Peloponnese, or what's the games they do, like some Greek?
Peloponnese is there, yeah. And they have, I can't remember the names right now, unfortunately, but they have a few games that are pretty interesting. I have one I really, really like, yeah.
Okay.
And I haven't played, unfortunately, that this past year when we were at Essen, and they were stolen. They had their cash box stolen. Unfortunately, I didn't get to check out that game.
Oh, right.
Which seems like a really interesting release from them. But yeah, I'll check this out for sure.
All right. In a theme that's not getting much buzz these days, coffee.
Buzz. Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's a lot of coffee games now, but Coffee Rush is coming from Korea Board Games.
Oh, okay.
You're trying to be a barista quickly fulfilling orders at a coffee bar.
Oh, okay.
This sounds, the problem with this is, I'm sure that I don't know if this is a good game. I like Korea Board Games a lot. But this whole move on the ingredient board to collect the ingredients, complete those orders, increase your rating with correct drinks. I'm like, isn't that the way most coffee games are at this point?
Yeah, they're basically contract fulfillment, keep your customers satisfied games,
That
right?
picture looks like, I can't even think of it. There's a certain artist, someone who draws.
Norman
That's what an
Rockwell?
artist is, yeah.
Like a Norman
I didn't finish my
Rockwell
sentence.
look?
Someone who draws like pictures of crowds, from the 1800s or early 1900s. That reminds me of a similar
All the
thing.
people hanging out on that hill? In
Yes.
those outfits? Yeah, who is that painter? I don't know.
Oh, I don't remember.
I know who you mean,
French
Tom.
painter?
I don't know where that painter's from.
It gives me that same
I know he's
vibe because
no
everyone
longer
here is like
alive.
crowded into a space. I don't know.
I want there to be a coffee game in which the setting is that scene in Pulp Fiction.
Oh, in the diner?
Yeah, and
The opening scene?
Yeah, and and it's later
Yeah,
on, obviously, in the
right.
movie. But I want a board game, which is during that scene, and you don't know, you're just serving plates and pies and coffees, and at some point in the game, someone's about to hold up the place, and you don't know who.
Okay.
So it's like a hidden character. You know what I mean?
I like this.
There's a game in there somewhere, I'm telling you right now.
There's a game in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But you
And
can
then
only play
Samuel L.
with people-
Jackson
Someone's
walks
going to
in.
be Tim Roth.
You can only play with people though who've never played the game before. You're like, let's play this
and
game.
you don't explain that there's a
You
twist.
don't. They're like, you got to deliver this stuff, and halfway through, you're like, bam!
Give me your wallet. Put
and
it
then
in
you
the
put a
bag.
timer on.
Yeah.
And they're like, stress it out.
Yeah.
You can't leave the table. Look, your ankle's handcuffed to the table leg when you weren't noticing.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's good. I'm going to work on that.
All right. We don't have pictures for the next two items. We got a new expansion coming for Mac Gert's Concordia called Concordia Rome Sicily, another double-sided board. Blah 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 blah.
That's going to be that blah 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 is going to be people excited though, right?
No, and I don't mean to make fun of this, but also it is another expansion.
Yes.
It's kind of like the Power Grid expansion. That's cool. I don't see the board. I'm sure it's fine.
Right.
There, you can send out your colonist ships abroad to get extra benefits. I guess that's a new thing. And on the Sicilia side, Cecilia, man, thank you. The volcano things can hit you, so there's some an element of luck, but you can also ignore that if you don't like that luck element.
Active volcanoes?
Active volcanoes in Sicily.
In more exciting news, and I really wish we had a picture for this, Archaea Society is printing Ethnos.
Well, no, Archaea Society is the name of the new...
Space Cowboys is printing Ethnos, reprinting Ethnos.
With this title.
Calling it Archaea Society. They're changing the theme. It is about explorers going and exploring, so the more explorers you send, the better chance you get.
Wow.
So they're straight up cutting a fantasy theme. Mm-hmm. And that's fine.
So it's like an Indiana Jones type theme?
I think so, from what I understand. Yeah. But it's Space Cowboys, man.
I'm going to steal Kane Klenko's joke that he put on Facebook, and this is already an improvement on the the artwork.
Wow.
You can say the same thing about the Concordia one, too,
Dang, that's messed up. I am not an Ethnos hater. I do not approve this message. But, I am excited for it. I'm curious to see what they do. They normally knock it out of the park.
Space Cowboys is going to make it look good, right?
Also,
you know they're going to make it look good.
June.
Yeah, it's like right around the corner. They said that May is when they're going to give more info, and then boom.
I don't normally put reprints on my most anticipated, but this would be there.
Yeah,
I'm super pumped about this. This is going to be a hot game, man.
It will be.
I think
this is one of the few times where I think a reprint will do really well. Because Ethnos, when it was released, people liked it and everything, but it just kept building buzz. People kept going, Ethnos. Yes. It's one of the few games that can take 5-6 players.
Yes, take it well.
And handle it well.
And again, I think Space Cowboys will do it right.
Yes.
It'll be maybe
the image of the cover's online?
Oh, it is.
Well,
let's see if we can find it.
There we go.
Lupi gave us a link, a direct link.
Yeah, I don't know if we can show.
It says Board Game Geek, so maybe they've added it to the Board Game Geek. News happens quickly.
There's no picture here.
Check images, or maybe check that thread and see if someone stuck a picture in there.
I don't see no picture. I can't click that link.
Lupi has access to information that us mere mortals do not.
Oh, unless Eric Martin posted it in the news. I can't even find the news. Why is the news not on the top page?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
You guys are watching
in the images section.
Stuff.
In the image, yes, that's what I thought. If you go to back to this thing and hit images.
Oh, and they just haven't added it to the front cover.
Go to the images section.
Let's go to images.
Okay.
Hold on.
Got it.
Oh.
It's much worse than Ethnos.
I can't see it well enough here.
Nah, it looks cool. Look at it. They're playing.
I'm in. I'm in. That definitely reinforces the Indiana Jones type of thing.
Okay, it's doing it for me. Keep singing.
Roy's going to be able to bring it up, too. Watch.
Maybe.
No, click on images, Roy.
Where's it at?
No, towards the top.
This is so ridiculous.
Scintillating live.
You see where it says, just click where it says, no, okay. You see where
images.
Images right there.
Click
Bam!
It. Click it. This is news brought to you by our latest reporter, Lupi.
That's right.
Does this absolve Lupi of all the sins from the other day?
Yes, correct. Lupi now has...
Bam! Look at this.
Oh!
This is how it happens in real time.
Look at that. Yeah.
Look, resize it. Slap it over that. Get rid of the not final artwork.
Okay, I'm getting there.
Get rid of
Anyway.
We're going to be putting an updated segment out.
Yeah, that looks good. I'm very excited about this.
Also, the components are going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yay, Space Cowboys.
Good pickup. Good pickup.
All right, so we go from that to a less exciting cover.
Okay.
Mind Up.
Where are we? There we are.
Yeah, but this is being reprinted, though. Also by Space Cowboys.
Now, this is coming from Catch Up Games, who actually makes pretty good stuff.
I like
it's a 3 to 6 player game. You have a line of cards. You're going to pick a card, simultaneously reveal it to make a new line ordered from lowest to highest. This sounds a little familiar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you take the card from the previous line in the same position as the one you just played, adding it to your tableau. That's different.
I like that. Yeah.
I will probably be super into this. This screams.
I like this designer, too.
I do too. Yeah, this very much screams, of course, those classic card games from Wolfgang Kramer and things like that.
Yeah, it does.
So.
I like that concept, though. You're all playing a card, you line them up, and depending what you played, it's basically a bidding game.
Reminds me a little bit of that Pumafiosi game that we played.
little bit,
the
yeah.
Venezia
Yeah.
game, yeah.
But you'll be able to think a little bit forward by playing a card. Like, let's say I play a low number, but I have the 1 in my hand. I play that low number, but it has a lot of points on it, so I know it's going to slide to the very bottom.
Oh, interesting.
And then I can play a lower number the next turn. I don't know. I just.
Yeah, that
So I'm getting
sounds
7
good.
out of 10. Mind up.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I really like it.
No, I like the concept.
Once I read the rulebook, it might even go up.
All right. A beautiful cover here, but not too late to make today's contest.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's Potions of Azerland. This is Andrew Bosley's artwork.
Yeah, Andrew Bosley, it's to the point, especially with the people,
Yeah.
that you can tell his art just by right away.
I agree.
Dutrade and the Micho are the easiest, I think, to recognize. Bosley's getting up there, too, and Weber's in Santiago.
This is coming from Warped Reality Games. Graydon Baker's a designer. Simultaneous action selection. You're deciding
that.
whether to drink your potions for boosts or save them to sell. 7 rounds. Try to get the most prestige.
Okay.
I will say, and this is something somebody mentioned online, and I agreed immediately, this really, really looks like the cover of Everdell, but with people.
A little bit, yeah.
It's like, I mean, it just looks like he took some of that art and was, okay, well, let me get rid of these, this little cute gopher or whatever, and put a lady in there.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It looks a little more magical than Everdell to me.
More magical than a world of magical animals?
Yes.
All right, the
I
designer,
disagree.
Graydon Baker, this is his only game. And from what I can tell from the page, it looks like it's an Essen
Okay.
release.
Makes sense.
All right. Roller Coaster Rush. We talked about this before. Panasars is redoing this. Roller Coaster Rush, very highly anticipated game. They announced it on our Gen Con show.
Right.
And it's one of the lowest ranked games on Board Game Geek because for the biggest reason was the cardboard roller coasters you built did not work very well.
Yeah.
They have remade it now with plastic ones. So far, it looks good. We actually literally have a copy that just came in yesterday here in the studio.
Oh, really?
So you can see it. I'm sure we'll be showing it off. I'm very hopeful.
Yeah.
Hopeful on this one. You're bidding to get...
This theme also just
exactly.
sings to you.
I love roller coasters.
He does.
It's not just me, though.
And marbles.
I think
It's just
marbles...
Tom.
No, but so in this game, you're bidding on roller coaster pieces, and the more hills you have in your roller coaster, the more points you get, but only if the marble actually goes over them.
Okay. When is Space Cowboys reprinting this?
That's a pretty good... Come on, you know Panasars is pretty much top of the game when it comes to
They
production.
really are. They are on top of their game.
Yep.
Soon they'll be reprinting Space Cowboys games. That's how I rank things.
All right. The next game is Sea Dragons, which really looks like it could have just been put into that all-play lineup
It looks like a straight-up sequel to Sail, which is on Kickstarter now. Yeah, it's so good looking.
I love that.
It's a 2 to 5 player game. It's coming from Fractal Juegos.
Yeah.
A 3-team designer here, one of them being Simone Luciani.
Yeah.
So interesting, because this is a Chilean publisher.
Okay.
They're from Chile, and so it's just, I love this melding.
Yes,
I mean,
it's
Luciani
great.
got up in there, and he's publishing a game now that's apparently coming out first in Chile.
And you wonder, like, is this part of the Essen thing? Like, right? Did they get it to meet up in Essen? And you know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why I love that fair is that there's all of this networking going on, and and this looks like it has a kind of a polyomino card type of a thing going on, which if it's done well, I'm all for.
Very interesting.
I gotta say, well, someday we're gonna do our top 10 artists, and
he'll be up there.
Weberson is getting up there for me.
I agree. I really like
he's
this
becoming
stuff.
more prolific in board gaming.
Yeah.
It's just a great look.
All right, next we have a less great looking cover called Time Collectors.
That's not bad.
It's okay. I
like
love
that.
the font though, but it looks okay.
I like that frame around the box. That's
Do
pretty
you?
cool.
Maybe I'll have to see that first. This is from Luby Edition of Belgian publishers. Use 4 D10s to travel through time. That's the pitch for the game. The year is 8052. So we may not be alive then.
Okay, maybe.
Time travel's possible now, though, so you might meet someone from this game.
Okay.
Okay.
In fact, I think that guy we met the other day is from there.
Oh, yeah. He looked like he was coming out of 8052.
He's the one who said, "Hey, boss." You're going to organize. Oh, so you roll 4 D10. You organize them in the year you want to travel to.
Oh, interesting.
Got it.
And then you use time crystals to alter your results.
Always time crystals.
And then
What is it with the time crystals?
Gotta have the time crystals.
And then you collect the riches on your personal board to get achievement cards. So I wonder, like, if there's certain things out there,
Yeah.
and you roll the dice, and then you pick where you're going to go.
You're just
really
trying to
like that
manipulate them into a
I do
game.
also,
I kind of
actually.
like that idea.
Yeah,
That's neat.
yeah. Okay, that's cool. Also, time crystals, though.
Yeah.
Why can't it be like just one game? I want it to be time juice or something.
Yeah,
We've already got spook juice.
Why not like hourglass sands or something like that?
yeah,
right?
yeah. Enchanted sand. Oh, I was going to say crystals
Yeah.
again.
Sand
It got me.
grains.
All right, it's the year of reprints. Cartagena, one of the biggest classics that's been around for 20 years, from Leo Calavini, about a bunch of pirates escaping from a prison, except now they're all animals, because
pirate
that's what you
animals.
want it.
Yep.
It's coming from Pretzel Games, so I'll tell you what,
surprises me.
this is going to be a very high-quality game. Pretzel makes stuff good, although Pretzel's last game really was completely yak.
Oh yeah, I didn't play that.
That one was that was Pretzel, right?
Yeah, it was
So I
Pretzel.
think
And that
so.
game just got rolled right over. No, I mean, it wasn't that good. Now this is, we know what the game is like.
Sure, this was like either up for the spiel or won the spiel. Like
Or recommended or something
It's
It's
like
kind of
that.
like a
sure.
Candyland-esque game where you're
It is,
moving your
yeah.
pirates, and you can move them to the next symbol of a certain type. But if you cover that symbol up, then you might be able to move someone even farther.
Right.
Isn't this a card-driven one?
Yeah,
So,
it's
yeah,
pretty
you play
simple.
a card and you move up to the next time that symbol appears.
Right.
Or you move back
Yes.
and draw. Something like that.
Right.
Yes.
So it's this sort of like back and forth, yeah. And plus now you have a pirate hippo. Hello.
That's
Look
right.
at that fella. That's a fancy hat.
I'm wondering how popular this game will be in 2023. I'm not convinced that this needed to be reprinted.
Yeah, I do wonder if they changed any of the mechanisms.
What if they do
or-
Cartagena 2, which was a very similar game, and Cartagena 3, which had nothing to do with the other
Four.
games?
They did 4.
Was there a 4?
Did they really?
There were 4.
That was
yeah.
direct to VHS.
Ah, that's
No,
right.
yeah. I had either 3 or 4, and that was a good game, but very different.
Hmm.
I don't know how big this will be in 2023, but I hear in 8052 it's huge.
Yeah, someone
They take
already
it back. They come grab the games. They're like,
someone already here mentioned Gale Crest. That was the first thing I thought. I was like, oh, okay, so
I
this
did
is
too.
like Libertalia, basically.
It almost seems related. Like
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different artist, so
Different company,
There's
different-
that,
yeah.
and different company, of course, and everything. But gosh, I mean,
Yeah.
talk about the two things seeming to look, related.
Right.
They really do. I'm doing this a double feature night.
Let's make it happen.
They escape first,
Yep.
then they are rocking the pirate ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then they mine for gold. Gold West. This is not of animals. This is still humans. So Vincent Dutrait artwork. So this is a second edition game designed by JX Kevern.
Yep.
The new artwork is Vincent Dutrait. It's an area control game. I've not played it, but I know you like it.
It's good.
I
You played it with
Roll
me.
West.
Yep.
We did maybe a Catch-a-Palooza of this.
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah, and I really like this game. It's in my top 100. It's a really enjoyable, interesting game. But man, oh man, am I gonna have to buy this again?
I know, right?
Here's the thing I don't like about this, though.
What could you possibly not like about this?
I don't like that Trick or Treat Studios is doing it because
Yep, I agree.
that dilutes their brand. Trick or Treat Games,
Yeah.
Studios has done horror themed things. That's a cool thing. They came out, we're doing horror themed. Unless in Gold West, you flip the box over and it's the same picture, but everyone's a zombie.
Everyone's
I
dead.
do
yeah.
like that. No, I think they're calling it Trick or Treat Studios Classic line
Collection
or
or
something.
something.
Yeah, I would think I would have started a new studio to print this then. Like call it something else, and it's still associated with
It's a
them.
sister studio, or
Yeah. I don't know where I fall on that line because I don't like the idea of studios or publishers diluting themselves by being 3 separate things. But some publishers have such a strong identity, like Trick or Treat,
Right.
that you hate to see it.
Well, even Fantasy Flight tried doing
Jiggled,
it
you
with
know?
that Wind Rider thing. It didn't last long.
They came out with 3 games in
Right.
that line, and then
Right.
it was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a similar thing, reprinting
It was.
classics.
Euros, yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for it.
All right. A lot of people are going to be excited for the next thing coming from a company called Glass Cannon, and that is Apex Legends, the board game.
Yeah.
This is based on a very, very popular video game that I don't know anything about,
I know
actually.
nothing about this.
In fact, I know so little about it, I don't even know that I've heard about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I'm not familiar with this at all.
Kind of like Fortnite, I want to say. It's that type of game.
Like a
What do you call that?
online
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
really
it's a battle
dislike that
royale type
genre
thing. Me
to play,
too.
so-
I'm too old for it. I feel like
Yeah.
I can't keep up with the kids and their dance moves. But I will
floss.
say, Glass Cannon is one of the companies that was also involved with Frostpunk.
Okay.
That a review will be coming out
Yes,
very, very
it
shortly.
does say that,
So,
Frostpunk.
and that was a very impressive game and production. So, like, if I had not played that game very, recently
Yeah.
and was working on a review for it, I would not be as interested in this. And
Okay.
I don't know anything about this theme again, and I don't even like it as much as I like the idea of Frostpunk as a theme.
Yeah.
But they know what they're doing.
Okay. All right.
It's always that tricky, like, when companies make games based on video games, you can get
Yeah.
one extreme or the other. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Here, I'm cautiously optimistic on this one.
All right.
This next piece of news I'm very interested in, even though I'm not a sleever, but Capstone Games is starting their own line of sleeves called Phantom Sleeves. And the reason I'm interested in this is because Capstone Games, in my opinion, is a bastion, and now they're starting their own sleeves. Now, there's a decent amount of sleeve companies out there, from the low end, which is what did Mayday rebrand themselves as? Sleeve Kings? Was that?
I believe so,
Yeah.
yes.
Sleeve Kings, and then you have the Fantasy Flight,
Yeah,
Gamegenic.
Gamegenic, yeah.
and then there was that other one that you just reviewed that were really good quality, and different sizes.
There's quite a few. I've reviewed quite a few sleeves, yeah. I'll review these too.
There
I
you go.
hear if you put these on your game, it makes it a better Euro game. That's what I've heard. Just sleeving the game tightens up the economy in the game.
Now these have 100 thickness. I don't know what that means. Each sleeve size will have three
Like
finishes.
Micro something or other.
Microns.
Microns, yeah.
Each sleeve size will have three finishes: a gloss front with a gloss back, gloss front with a matte back, and a matte front with a matte back.
Okay, so full gloss, full matte, half and half.
Coffee.
I definitely want the matte back.
Half and half.
Okay.
There we go.
I don't know if I want the front to be gloss or
I've
matte.
tried. You know what? I'm really coming around on the frosted fronts. I'm coming around not the way you'd think. I'm getting over them.
Okay.
I thought I really liked that look, and in fact, for a long time, I have enjoyed that frosted look. It doesn't catch light, all of that
Yeah,
stuff. And I've realized I'd rather have the clarity and just move the darn thing
Yeah.
if the light is hitting it, than lose some of that clarity on the table. So for me, half and half is the way to go.
Yeah, I think I've always preferred the gloss front. Yeah.
And they're also
Yeah.
going to make. From reading this, they're gonna all their new games will have what sleeves they work with. Obviously, they're gonna cross promote.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
But
correct.
this also means that they're going to be making a lot of Euro style sleeves. Like Gamegenic is definitely their focus is living card games, collectible
Right,
card
right,
games.
right.
Sure.
Definitely, because that's what their company makes, right? So this will. I don't think that I don't think Phantom's going to go that way at all. It's going
But
to be about Euro stuff.
But I
probably.
did hear, but if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw that they're doing the whole slew of sizes, same deal, like Sleeve Kings
Right.
has a ridiculous amount of colors and sizes
Sure.
and what have you. I think these guys are doing the same thing.
They're gonna have a system like on their boxes that'll tell
Right.
you. And I gotta tell you, at this point, you got to assume that every one of their inserts is going to be set up for
I guess.
their sleeves.
Yeah.
All right, in final news, and we're going to be going over to some more detail in the back talk today. There's a new #1 board game on Board Game Geek. Board Game Geek, the biggest website in the world, where everybody
For board
games.
games,
Yeah, because I should clarify, the biggest website in the world is actually YouTube. But anyway, which we're on. But Board Game Geek ranks all board games. People go in there and rank them. There have only been like 7 #1s since the site has begun. Gloomhaven has had it for 4. Brass Birmingham has just passed it. There's more on that, which we'll cover in the back talk. But that, otherwise, folks, is the news.
All right.
We've gone too many weeks without talking about food.
That's correct.
So we're back. So food. Today we're talking about our top 3 fast food restaurants that are not Starbucks.
What? Nobody said that?
Now, I'm going to say a couple of quick things. I always have to have a couple of quick things, right? Especially when we talk about food. This is very important. I wanted to be strict and be like, nothing that is considered somewhat regional, but I couldn't do it.
I think
Why
regional's
would that
fine.
matter? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay. The other thing that I tried to do was I could have gone with the top 3 burger places. That's probably my favorite of the fast food.
Again, that's fine.
But I did not do that.
Why?
Because I wanted to have a diversity of food. So
Why?
sometimes I'm in the mood for a particular type of fast food. I put my favorite of 3 different types.
Here we go. Again, you have to like change the. Why do you got to change the list?
Look,
Okay, my number 3 is actually a tire repair shop,
that's good. Mine too.
but they have really good coffee there.
No, you got to talk to Kenny because there's an aluminum siding place here in town to get
That's
this
some of the
Chinese food
best
from.
fast
Yeah,
food
yeah.
in town.
That's
Yes,
correct. And I wish I was kidding. I'm not kidding.
No, we're not kidding. Is it me first?
Yeah.
All right, my number 3, and I think I get away with saying this is fast food. They have a drive-through,
Okay.
Dunkin' Donuts?
but no, that'd be good too. Panera Bread.
Okay, sure.
Oh, I didn't think of them as fast food. You're right, but that's a
Panera
good
has
choice.
a drive-through, man. I don't care how fancy they are,
I
how
would
much.
consider it fast food.
I don't care how much they won my rewards card. They're fast food, okay?
Like,
Here's
what
my
does this
issue
do?
with Panera, right? My only issue with Panera, because I like it too.
Yeah,
No matter what you order,
yeah,
it's $12.
that's true.
I'd like a lemonade, $12. I'd like a dozen. Whatever.
Croutons.
$12.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
are
Mike and I
expensive,
went
though, that's
there.
for sure.
That may have been your joke, actually. I
I don't remember, but you and I were together in the car, and we went and pulled up, and it was actually like pretty much, we got very different things.
Right.
And it was about $12 each of us. So that's where that joke came
Yeah,
from, yeah. I don't know, I just really like them. I usually get myself a little like pick 2,
Yep.
get a little soup and a little half of a tuna salad sandwich. I'm happy, I'm golden. Yeah, it's a good spot. You can certainly stop in and eat, and that'll be a nicer experience than the typical fast food place. But you can also just drive on through, you know? I really like it. I think it's got a good... It seems much better and fresher than a lot of the other fast food places.
Right.
Certainly more than my number 2, which I will get to. But I like Panera.
And you can eat somewhat unhealthy there, but it's really a place you don't usually feel too bad about eating at afterwards.
Yeah.
You don't feel guilt over it usually.
Oh, yes. By the way, I'll delete any comment that comes in and goes, don't you guys know fast food's bad for you later on?
Of
Yeah,
course.
we know.
You don't eat it 7 days a week,
Right. Also, I don't eat it usually even one day a week.
Right,
I mean,
exactly,
there's a lot of, I like eating at a regular restaurant more than fast food, but sometimes you need the fast food.
Right.
My number 3 is a regional one, burger place. I almost picked Five Guys. I like Five Guys a lot, even
Yeah.
if they are,
Okay.
you talk about knowing something's bad for you.
Oh,
Yeah, they're so
But-
good though.
I like Whataburger.
never
I'm a
been to
big
a
fan of
Whataburger,
Whataburger.
yeah.
That's from Texas to...
somebody just mentioned it, actually.
Oh, did they? Yeah, I really like Whataburger. It's... A lot of this is nostalgia because when I first got married, that's where my wife and I often went out to eat. It was very affordable, but I think Whataburger beats the big 3, the McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. Their burgers are better than those. They're big, nice burgers. They got good... I don't know, the sides and stuff. They were the first people to put fresh jalapenos on a burger, and I really like that. So, yeah, my number 3, Whataburger.
I think Whataburger's okay.
I've never been there.
I've been to it once, and it might have been because it got talked up a lot.
Yes, well, I know about that. That was to the point where I was like, no. It's not like heaven coming on earth.
It was okay.
A former co-host was just like, Whataburger!
That's right.
Oh! I was like, all right, it's not that great.
It's fine. It's fine. It was.
You know what Whataburger is better than? I don't know if I'm spoiling your list, but it is so much better than In-N-Out. In-N-Out is garbage.
Oh, we're going to find out.
Go ahead, Mike.
Tom is way wrong. All right, my number 3. Let's talk about controversy. You just came with controversy with an incredibly bad take. My hot take is that one of the most overrated fast foods in general is the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. I think it's okay. The best, if I want a chicken sandwich from a fast food place, nothing touches Popeyes. My number 3 is Popeyes, specifically for the chicken sandwich. It is perfect. And I've gone to multiple.
It's pretty good. Mike,
Oh my God,
talked
it's
up the chicken
best.
sandwich, and we ordered some. Remember, we ordered some for one of our spectaculars. And Mike was going on and on. I was like, fine, I'll eat one of these chicken sandwiches. And it was pretty good.
Good.
It's
It is
fantastic.
good.
And
Yeah.
it's so simple. It has exactly what a chicken sandwich should have. It has a slightly sweet brioche bun. It has a
Oh dang! Somebody did that.
yeah. It's got obviously a very good chicken breast, a little bit of mayo and pickles. That's it. That's all that should be on.
I love how you. No, you don't like tomatoes and
No, don't put your tomatoes on my. No, that's garbage. Popeye's chicken sandwich, the best chicken sandwich, fast food. Although Zaxby's is close.
I agree with what you
Yeah,
said there,
okay,
but I don't know.
Zaxby's is
I would
good.
like to have a Chick-fil-A next to one. I would like to compare them.
Let's do it because Popeyes will crush. You'll see how minuscule and sad.
The problem is we don't have a Chick-fil-A close to us here.
The closest
Not
one is
really,
in
yeah.
Kendall, and you have
Yeah.
to wait 45 minutes with a police escort to get through their line.
I
because
agree.
For some reason,
And we have a Popeyes like 5
right
minutes
here.
away.
Yeah.
And there's never a line. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
weird.
Also,
You're
well,
not-
that's a part of time where you don't want to wait in line.
That's true. I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, what's your number
My number two, they talking about ingredients, they have such a varied menu. It's interesting. You can get so many different things combined in so many different ways, and it's really all the same. But it's tasty no matter what I get. You can just honestly just get a random number generator, pick a number, ask for that number on the menu, and it'll be basically the same as any other number. Of course, I'm talking about Taco Bell.
Oh boy.
You know what? I think a lot of people are going to poo-poo on Taco Bell because of regional stuff that is considered better than this or that, or Zaxby's versus this versus In-N-Out versus Whataburger. Taco Bell's one of the big ones, right? And so it's easy to come down on it. And I could have gone here with something else that was also Mexican, but Taco Bell's easy to get to.
Yeah.
And it's good. I don't know. I don't have a problem with Taco Bell.
I like Taco Bell. I worked at Taco Bell. I know Taco Bell. But
You, sir, are no Taco Bell.
the problem with me and Taco Bell is me and Taco Bell just not had
You
a
guys
good,
go way back.
We've not had the last couple good years.
Right, right.
At one time, I almost didn't come into work because of Taco Bell.
Okay, I don't really want to know about that.
He did, and then we said, Tom, please go home. I don't, just kidding. I don't remember.
No,
I don't wanna
that
know.
was definitely
I said I don't want to know.
the bad food. Because I remember smelling the taco shop, like, this smells bad, but I was really hungry.
Oh, like it tasted, like it
Yeah.
seemed off even before you bit into it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's on me.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but anyway, I'm also with tacos. So here's the problem.
Which one are you going with here? Okay.
Well, I can't remember the name of it. It's the one.
Del Taco.
It's that local chain
Chipotle's.
that starts with a Q.
Qdoba.
No, not Q. I'm sorry. The X. The one that's.
Oh, Zoshimex. Oh, man. That place is
Zoshimex,
the
thank you.
bomb.
What is that?
It's only here in Miami. It's like
Is it
3
a
locations.
chain?
It's like 3 locations.
Okay, yeah. So no, I'm not.
Come on, it's a restaurant.
Okay, so I'm going to cut that
I'd
one
have
out.
known
I'm
that, that
not.
would've been
No,
my
no, no.
number
I'm not.
two. Okay.
That's amazing.
I do
So
wanna
I'll
know
put
where
in a
that is.
Chipotle.
I do want to
Okay.
know where that is, though, afterwards.
It's real good, man. It's real good. Yeah.
Oh, it's in Color Bay, dude.
There's one in
that's
Color Bay.
amazing.
Social Mex.
Yeah, yeah.
Social Mex is about to get lit.
Social Mex is like Chipotle,
11, I
but
think.
I'm about to
way
go-
better.
about to
They
guess.
cook the meat right on a grill and then put it on your
So
food.
does Taco Bell.
But anyway, my number 2 is actually Chipotle. I really like Chipotle. Ever since we got a Chipotle in our area, I never go to Taco Bell because they do everything Taco Bell does except Mexican pizza.
Yeah.
And better.
I want legit Mexican food. Mexican pizzas, please.
I don't know. I just really like it.
My question is always, how long until somebody says Taco Bell is not Mexican, and
Well,
there it is.
Of course, it's that.
No kidding. No one claimed it was.
Right, and none of this stuff is. That's not my argument with Taco Bell. My thing is, it's fine. I'll eat Taco Bell, but this is one where people are going to be pushing back against my number 1 the way that I kind of push back against Taco Bell. It's like, why is it that popular? It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
My number 2 is also Chipotle, although it would have been Zoshimex if it could have been, because same thing. If I'm in the mood for fast Mexican style food, I'd rather go to Chipotle, and
The only problem with Chipotle is the lack of a drive-through.
the lack of a drive-through and the
Which
fact
I think
that,
is hard. Well, let me not say that because my number 1.
you can still be fast food and not have a drive-through.
Fine.
My biggest issue with Chipotle is that one of my favorite items on the menu, I think you can still only get when you order it on the app, which is their quesadilla. Their quesadilla is
Wait, you can get a quesadilla there?
outstanding. I don't
Quesadilla.
quesadilla. I think you're supposed to only get, I'm sure if you go there and say, give me a quesadilla, they will, but it's not on the menu when you walk in.
Oh, interesting.
Not on the menu board. Anyway.
I like Chipotle too. It was on my short list.
Yeah.
But, I don't find myself going there, so I have a hard time. It would seem weird for me to be like, oh, Chipotle. I'm almost never there.
Yeah, we go there.
I go to Taco Bell much more frequently, statistically speaking, than Chipotle.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
All right, number ones. What do you got?
My number one is fantastic. It's a little closer to Panera Bread than Taco Bell because I do think that their food is pretty good and fresh. And I remember the very first time I went there, I was kind of blown away by how quickly they got that food out, even though you can see them making it. And that's Jimmy John's.
That's also my number one.
Jimmy John's is fire.
This is so funny. I could not be. I think Jimmy John's is mediocre.
Oh, Jimmy John's is so stinking good.
I want to be really clear. When it comes to Jimmy John's, that's really weird. That's your number one.
Yeah, man.
When it comes to Jimmy John's, I'm a big sandwich guy, and I'll argue that almost every independent sandwich maker that's around is better. Okay, I'm not saying that,
right.
and I go to those if I can. But when we talk about the word fast, it blows my mind. I go and I'll be like, I like a sandwich, and I'm like, I reach down to look at something, they come up, they're like, here.
Yeah,
I'm like,
they are fast.
Thanks, man. And it tastes better than Subway. It does.
I agree. It's so good. I think Jimmy John's is great. I mean,
like, I like Firehouse subs, but I also go in there and then I can go celebrate my kid's birthday before the sandwich is done.
For sure, because those are usually heated subs too. But yeah, you're right. Jimmy John's is fine. It's just mediocre to me. But that's the other thing, is that they usually compete with local places. Shoot, even Publix. The Publix subs blows away. You know what I mean?
Again, I'm not saying that, but
I don't agree that it blows away Jimmy John's.
I do.
I really like Jimmy John's.
Meat
on
those
head meat
freshly baked rolls.
That's fine. No. That's fine. I like it, but Jimmy John's is still, I mean, I really like
good.
it. It's my number one for a reason.
What's your number one? Is it In-N-Out?
It's absolutely In-N-Out. And again, I know that people push back because In-N-Out is one of those things where it becomes almost a hipsterish thing.
Oh, no, nobody would ever accuse you of being a hipster, Mike.
Look, I was In-N-Out before it was popular, baby.
He was in there.
I was eating
and then when it became popular, he was out.
I was eating doubles at 3 months old. There's pictures of me. That's not true. But I remember growing up in Southern California, and In-N-Outs were ubiquitous. It was the spot. They used
to be called ubiquitous?
No.
Got it.
It was ubiquitous. It is.
I don't know what
ubiquitous.
that word means.
It's
Okay,
everywhere.
stop.
It's
Stop
everywhere.
making up things.
There's a lot of things to like about In-N-Out. It is fresh. Always fresh. It's fast. For a place that's that crowded, it's fast. It's inexpensive for what you get. They do not overcharge. They could charge probably 30% more than they do. The employees, almost across the board, are genuinely, they seem to be like actually kind of enjoying what they do, which is rare in a fast food place. I don't know what they do. I don't know what the alcohol is there. Maybe
Mike,
they pay them better
It's drugs.
I'm just telling you, whatever it is,
In-N-Out juice.
It's delicious. They have a very small menu because everything on there is good.
And I so disagree with this.
I don't think I've been to an In-N-Out. I believe I have not.
There's one in Vegas. There's one by the Rio.
Have I ever done that? Is it good though?
Yes.
The Vegas one. You know what I mean?
I've only been there once.
Am I gonna get a real In-N-Out experience?
Maybe.
Maybe I'll get the in, but not the out. You know what I mean?
You get the out.
Maybe I'll get just
Someone's
the out.
talking about Culver's. Culver's is also very good.
I do like Culver's.
That would have been on my short list because they're
good call on Culver's.
I'll tell you which one.
And their custard are both very good.
The one that we don't have locally, and every time I go to, like, say, Orlando or something, I'm like, ooh, they have this here. And I go, and I must have brain damage or something. Every time I forget to, like, not go back. Because every time I'm disappointed. It's Crystals. Or Crystal.
Yeah, that's just White Castle.
Basically.
That's all it is. I thought they were the same company.
I don't know if they are or not, or one of them just like, obviously Crystal just monkeys White Castle, but I don't know. It just, the idea of it is so much better than the food.
I want my burger to fit in my hands, not in this little...
No, I don't mind the little sliders. That's okay, but they're just so underwhelming.
They are.
And every time I'm like, ooh, Crystal. We don't have that locally. Let me hit up some Crystal.
You know what place I liked that was in Orlando that I had never been to? Was it called Freddy's? Is that right?
Freddy's is good.
That was good. I liked that.
Freddy's is very similar to Steak and Shake.
It is similar, but someone mentioned Steak and Shake. I'm not a huge fan of Steak and Shake.
Oh, well, I go to Steak and Shake if I have 4 hours to blow.
Yeah, if that counted... That might be in my top 5.
Yeah, where's the fast in that food?
It's not fast.
No.
That's more of a diner.
It is a diner, yeah.
All right, well, there we go, folks. That's our fast 3 favorite restaurants. You know what I'm talking about. We'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joey.
And I'm Alex.
And here we are with another segment of Shelf, Storage, or Sell.
Hey, you got it. Good job.
Yep, the word segment gets me every time.
Every time. It's a tricky word.
Okay, so here's where we actually grab a game off the shelf
Yep.
and we find out if it deserves to stay there.
Yes.
Because as we know, culling your collection is something very important.
It is. And shelf space is very valuable.
As games aren't going to stop coming out.
They're not.
But your house does not grow.
No, it does not.
So today we're
Maybe
going to
it
look at a small, it does shrink, a smaller game, and this is by Aiello, and this is Loot and Run.
Oh, yes.
This game is about 7 years old now?
Yeah, 2016.
2016. So this game should be marked for deletion, throwing away,
Yeah.
getting rid of it, but honestly, this game, for you that have not played this game is a push your luck game in the best sense of the word. And it's really nice because the inside of the board actually uses, you actually use that as the track.
Yeah, your score track.
So you can flip cards, and you can flip cards. You can awaken. You can loot, which is flip cards. Look at them, put them face down in front of you.
Yep.
Or you can run, and run is you just take all the loot in front of you and
Yep.
go, and you ignore the monsters. But if you awaken somebody and they have more monsters than they have loot, then you caught them, and things happen to you. You either get their points, you get another
Yep.
turn, or whatever, and they don't get those points. But if they run, then all of a sudden you could get all those points, no matter how many monsters you have. But that's the thing right there. So it's a really fun, it's a fun push your luck mechanic because
Yeah.
you're not only are you trying to say, do I want another card in front of me? You're looking at the cards in front of everyone else, and you're like, ugh, that's like 8 cards, and some are green, some are red, and those are different variability there. I'm like, you know what? I want to awaken you, but if you awaken them and they win, they get all those points. You just kind of help them out.
Yeah, one thing I like about this game, so first of all, I love the theme, right? History
theme is great.
The history nerd in me enjoys this theme so much,
Yeah.
right? But I do really enjoy playing this. This is the perfect game to play at the end of the night. It's quick to set up, quick to play, so you can play a couple of games of it as kind of a way to end the night and have fun. And particularly if you play something really heavy and you need to give your brain a break,
Right.
this is a great game for that because, like I said, it's fun. It creates a lot of laughs because you're doing stuff to yourself or other people or whatever you want to do, and so it makes it just a great way to end a night.
And this has been a hit every time we played it.
Every time we played
Artwork
it.
is great. So, okay, I think I have the
right.
answer to this, but honestly, it's time to decide
Yes,
for Loot and Run, shelf, storage, or sell.
we're selling it. Just kidding, we're keeping it.
We're keeping
I
it.
wanted to see your
Shelf.
face.
I was like, what? All right, so
No. This is definitely a shelf. I really like this, and we need to move it back into our game room because I forget
it's there.
that it's there, and I want to bring it back in here so we can just grab it and play it.
It's a perfect game for end of the night. People don't
Yeah.
want to leave. You just played a couple of heavies, and you're like, you know what? You guys don't want to leave yet? Let's throw a Loot and
Yeah.
Run. So for you that have this, you know how good it is. But for
Yeah.
you that don't, check it out. Loot
Yep.
and Run, still great. I mean,
great
the
game.
theme
It
is
holds
great.
up.
Artwork's great. It's a great game.
Yep.
So, all right, we'll
Yeah.
send it back to the studio. Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Bye.
Oh,
All right.
wow.
Back talk.
Back talk. Yeah, now you're getting real.
Yeah, well, anyhow, so we talked earlier about the ratings on Board Game Geek and Brass Birmingham becoming #1. Now, Chris had been tracking it for a while, and Brass Birmingham had been getting more and more ratings and slowly was creeping up on Gloomhaven.
Okay.
And on Board Game Geek, you can go in and you can rank a game from 1 to 10, and they have their own scale what that means, but basically 10 is an amazing game, the best game ever, 1 is a broken game, doesn't work. And Board Game Geek definitely has things set in place that you need a good chunk of ratings, at least several hundred ratings, before a game is even ranked, because they throw in a bunch of dummy 5 ratings for games just to keep, a new game comes out, 50 people give it a 10, it's not immediately #1. It used to be like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Duel of Ages, at one point, was very high in the rankings.
Really?
Until they implemented that. Yeah, because the people who liked it, and the people who hated it never played it.
Gotcha.
And there's going to be issues and problems with every ranking service out there. So I'm
Sure.
not saying Board Game Geek's ranking service is bad or anything. It's just the way it is. But I want to talk a little bit about the meaning of #1 briefly, and then how does that affect you, the viewer? But I will say I went and did some looking at the stats, and both Brass in particular, in the month of February, had thousands. I want to say 2,500 people came in and ranked it a 10. Now, lots of people rank Brass a 10. I don't mind. It's not my favorite game. I give it a 5. I don't care. But lots of people give it a 10. But in the months prior to that, there was maybe 500 10s given.
So a statistically significant change.
For sure.
Right.
And I don't know
it's
where it
not
happened.
that the game suddenly was available to more people or anything, right? There's no...
No.
Serious. There's no logical
explanation. It's just that people saw it can go over. Like, not everyone rates games on Board Game Geek. Right. You don't rate them as much as I do. I rate every single game I play.
Yeah, no, I do not.
I don't rank them.
Right.
I used to.
And I do, but I know a lot of people who will they'll hear something, oh, this game could be number 1, therefore I will go rank it. So that happens.
A thing, yeah, it does.
And then, of course, the same thing happened with Gloomhaven, once it passed Gloomhaven especially. And then people also went and gave 1s to both those games. Now, to that, shame on you. If you do that sort of nonsense, I think you are a bad person for doing that. I think it's a bad thing to do. If you honestly think one of those 2 games is a 10, which I think is very legit.
Sure, of course.
In fact, I rank Gloomhaven a 10.
Yeah.
And I don't like Brass. I gave it a 5. 1 is an abysmal, terrible excuse for a game. I don't think either one is a 1, but I can imagine that there's some people out there have played them. But the chance of you thinking one's a 10 and the other one's a 1 suddenly in the month of February is very, as you would say,
sus.
Yes. And it's kind of garbage, I think. That whole thing's garbage. And in fact, I met someone in our game group told me that they ranked Ark Nova as number 4. And they're like, Ark Nova does not deserve to be number 1, so I gave it a 1. Like, do you hate the game? No, it's not that bad of a game. Then why'd you give it number 1? Because it doesn't deserve to be there. That's a false, you are a liar. A liar if you give a game a rating that you don't actually think is that game's rating.
It's, yeah.
And at the end of the day, your objective in doing so, your sort of manipulation, is in service of what exactly?
Right, that's the question.
Right, it's just that the game I like is now number 1. Okay, so taking all that mess out of the situation, there's lots of legitimate ratings. Both games are absolutely fantastic. At least they do it very well.
Yeah.
And there's a very nice picture. You can go online and find it of. We just posted it on the news. In the news, that's from the folks. That's from Isaac from Gloomhaven, Cephalofair, with that train with the guys on it. Like number 1, that's been done in movies for a while. I remember when Titanic surpassed Star Wars.
Yeah.
George Lucas sent a picture of Titanic going down and all the Star Wars characters jumping off it. Like, congratulations, you're now number 1. Yeah. That's classy.
Right.
You people doing the 10-1 thing, not classy. That's trash. But the question is here, how does it matter? So there's been lots of people talking about this. Some people are like, it doesn't matter at all, who cares? And in one instance, to your personal life, it doesn't matter. Sure. Especially if I go to the game store and I pick up a game and you say, that's ranked number 2 on a database of all board games on Earth, I'm like, oh, well, that's crap. And I put it back. I mean, you know what I mean? That's not going to happen.
Right.
No, right. Correct.
Of all games in the world, if your game is number 2, no one's going to be like,
put it back.
Garbage.
Where's number 1?
Right,
yeah.
right. And also, I don't find it very often. I'm trying to think if there is a game that has put as a seal that they were a number 1 game on BGG.
I don't think I've ever seen
in the
such
top 100.
Yeah, sure.
I've definitely seen that.
You know, sure, why not? I mean, that makes sense. But yeah, I don't understand, like you said, the motivation behind this.
Also, you're not a hero, by the way. You're not a hero for counteracting other people's rankings.
No.
No one's be like, oh, you.
I don't understand, and I think the ultimate kind of the unfortunate side effect of this is if the people who become the new number 1 or suddenly the number 2 or what have you stop and reflect on why, and the answer ends up being because people are fiddling around with a system just for the sake of a kick or a laugh.
Right.
That's got to sting a little bit. You know, that moment of you thinking to yourself, wait, am I popular? Am I number 1? Is my thing actually liked? Or are people fiddling around with a system they think is a kick?
Well, actually, Gloomhaven is now number 3.
Okay.
So many people gave it 1s.
Right.
That it actually fell down. The whole thing is ridiculous. But I'll say this. I also disagree with the people who say it doesn't matter. It definitely matters to be in the top 10 of Board Game Geek. That's a
100%
thing.
it matters.
Sure.
Okay, companies want to be there.
I mean, and it matters to the people that were involved in the creation of that product, right?
Right.
I mean, there's personal investments that you get put in. And I don't mean financial investment necessarily, although that oftentimes is the case too. But yeah, of course it means something. Of course it does. And your project, something that you put your kind of love into and effort, and to see that being manipulated by people and oftentimes doing it with clearly kind of trollish intentions, that's got to be, at the very least, annoying, right? It's probably deeper than that.
This does not happen just in board gaming. It's happened on IMDb.
Yeah, of
course. With the movies, and this movie doesn't deserve to be number one, so a bunch of people went in. There was a big argument between two movies. I forget what they were. One was, I think, was it Pulp Fiction? I forget what they were.
There was one about an actress who got nominated for a thing that they said that was, this was clearly a campaign to get her nominated. No one saw this movie.
And this is actually one of the reasons why for Dice Tower Awards we don't open it up to the general public. Or if you do open things up to the general public, you need to be able to go in and say no.
If you can clearly see manipulation of data, you need to have somebody. And maybe that's another thing. I don't mean to cut you off, which I just did, but I have to assume that there are people that are very data-driven behind the scenes at Board Game Geek that are trying to deal with this in some way, right?
I feel like you could make some sort of thing to go in and say, here's anyone who rated one game a 1 and the other a 10 in the month of January, February 2023, delete those. I just would. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Gosh,
You didn't suddenly in February go, you know what? I think Gloomhaven's a 10.
No, I agree
Brass
with you.
is a 1.
That's an obvious. That's an obvious reaction. What about if I rate one a 10 and the other one a 3?
See, people.
I'm saying it's a sliding scale. It's a slippery slope.
Right.
And I do wish that there was a solution, a quick, simple answer to that. But when you nuke everybody that rated one a 10 and the other one a 1, how does the pendulum swing back? Is it 10s and 2s?
Yeah.
How about 9s and 2s? Where do you stop that?
I know.
It's just unfortunate that folks feel that need to mindlessly and needlessly manipulate this data that could be fascinating information if you would just be honest with it and stop fiddling around for a laugh, a kick, a screenshot. I don't know. It's a useful tool you are purposely mucking up. And I don't understand that drive.
I don't
That's
either.
all, you know?
I don't understand it either. Yeah, I think maybe, could it be, I mean, this is probably being the most, charitable viewpoint. Because a lot of times you'll see some odd things, like someone mentioned in the chat, they'll rate a game a 1 and they'll put a little note that was clearly for themselves, we'll update once I've played the game. It's like, okay, you have to, do these people just not understand that this isn't just their personal database, but that this is a meta database, and do they not realize that they're affecting a larger whole? I don't know. That's, like I said, it's a very charitable way to look at it,
I don't think so. There are ways for you to tag a thing as we'll come back to this TBA without
putting a ranking in,
giving it a number.
Now, again, at the end of the day, the worst thing that happened here was that Gloomhaven went to number 3. Which is 3 out of the ranked games. I think there's like 25,000. That's still amazing. And the Board Game Geek rating system is strong enough to withstand even this. Like, this is the height of what it can do.
Right.
Board Game Geek is still, again, it shifted a little bit, but it shouldn't matter. But there is definitely, publishers will say, if they're in the top 100 at Board Game Geek, it does affect sales.
Sure.
It definitely, as a single data point, when I first got into the hobby, I went to Board Game Geek and ordered the top 5 games. I did.
Right.
Because I thought, well, they are highly ranked. They must be at least good. If someone said, Tom, I want you to be a critical movie, you need to watch some good movies, I would go to IMDb and I would start watching movies that are listed in the top 100. I just would.
Right.
Because I assume that stuff is correct. And it's still mostly correct.
Yeah, I think you'd still be fine ordering the top 10 of BGG right now.
Well, except for all the games in the top 20, 30 of Board Game Geek, for the most part, are fairly esoteric, unique games, and you might hate some of them based on your play style. I don't know. I can't think of anybody who would like all of them. I don't think that's even a possibility, really.
Yes, absolutely. And they will elicit strong emotions one way or the other. I think that's what makes them top-tier games, that they will elicit strong reactions. You might be on the wrong side of that reaction,
Right,
They're not gonna be wishy-washy kind of games. Yeah.
I don't like brass. I gave it a 5. But I sit there and I applaud when it got to number 1. I was like, all right, cool. That's cool for them. I don't care that much.
Right.
I don't have any money tied up in brass. And even if I did, that would be even worse, I think.
Sure.
In a sense, trying to manipulate your ratings, because then that's almost fraud at that point.
Yeah, right.
This happens a lot on Board Game Geek. A new game will come out, and the designer will tell all their friends to go rank it at number 10. That doesn't even make the news anymore. It did. I don't know if you remember back in the days, card chess and things like that.
Sure. And you could see it very plainly where it's like, oh, new user account, they rate one thing, it's a 10. Oh, and here's another one, new user, they rate the same thing, a 10. You could even sometimes click on where they are in the world, and they're all in like the same city. It's like,
But that's been scooped out now.
Sure.
You don't even notice that
Nobody
much anymore.
cares. Yeah.
When I actually go look at a game, and I'm curious what people think about it, I'll look at the top ratings, and I'll look at the bottoms, but the only ones I care about are the comments.
Yeah.
If you don't put a comment with your rating, it doesn't really mean anything to me because I don't know you. Unless I did know you. If I saw Z Garcia, I'd be like, oh, that's what he thinks. But if you don't leave a comment, but if someone goes in there and comments and says, yeah, this game is dead, so then I completely ignore your rating. If you write some stupid thing. But if you say, I didn't like this, it was a long, boring experience, it was miserable play, I'm like, oh, so they played the game.
Right.
That still might not affect me. I might still go, wow, I just don't agree with that person.
Sure.
But that is useful to me. But if you say, here to counteract the number 10 rating,
Right.
yeah, that's garbage. Yeah. Also, get a life.
Don't get caught up in that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just don't get caught up in that snowball fight of, it's so silly,
It really is.
meaningless, pointless. Yeah. I mean, that's the main thing I think on BGG that blows my mind is how many, I assume, adults get caught up in this whole because of all the ones, 10. Well, no, you should have because of your 10. Here's a 1. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, this one very much had that feeling of picking a team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm Team Gloomhaven, I'm Team Brass.
Can you like both? No!
Of course not. I'm sure Isaac Childress hates Brass. Come on, that's ridiculous. You know? Ridiculous.
Oh, well. Anyway, again, a lot of this is a tempest in the teapot. This will be forgotten in a year or two.
Sure.
There'll be another game moving on up in there. Who knows what it is. I don't think it'll be Frosthaven because I'm sticking by my prediction for the year. But that's it for Board Game Smorgasbord, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in 4 hours as we vote for best board game covers, which again is also something that could be manipulated to some degree.
Sure.
But it also doesn't matter at all. It's just silly fun.
And this can't have any from our previous poll. This is all new stuff.
I sure hope I didn't make any mistakes in that regard. I don't think any are from the previous one.
All right.
I'm sure, and if I do,
we'll hear about
I'll hear about it. All righty. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Mike Delisio.
I'm Z Garcia.
Have fun ranking games.